Hey, good morning, YouTube. Welcome to another exciting edition or adventure or episode of Not Timmy 66. As you can see, I'm dressed a little bit strange today. You want to know why? Let's see. I live in Texas, and what has Texas been getting a lot of? That's right, guys. Seems to be the status quo. Rain. Actually, on my way up to get some groceries. Hope everybody is doing very well today. You want to know what's weird? We do Walmart for our groceries, most of our grocery shopping. Not everything there, but we get a lot of stuff there. And here's the weird thing, guys. They don't, when it's raining out, you gotta go pick it up, man. I mean, normally, you go and you go online and you order everything and they tell you what your substitutions are and what they're out of and all that stuff. Then they tell you when it's ready, you go pick it up. Outside, they just load it in your car. Well, apparently we've had enough rain and lightning and stuff that they've decided that I have to go inside and pick it up, which ought to be fun. Need groceries, man. So I'm sitting up there, and I'm not really dressed to go into the store at the time. I didn't have my rain gear on or nothing. And they're like, well, you can just come inside and pick it up. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll have to come back. Tell you what, guys, I wish I was doing the concrete job right now, the mixer driver job. You know why? With all this rain and everything, all you gotta do is show up for work and get paid to stay home. That would have been awesome. So I got a comment from someone, one of my people that watch my channel, either a subscriber or I believe it's a subscriber anyway. I got a comment from someone that said that they work for FedEx Express now. And they used to work for FedEx Ground. And that's like 1,000,000 times better to work for FedEx Express. So let's explore that a little bit today, guys. Let's do a little comparison between the two. Let's look at FedEx Ground and FedEx Express. FedEx Express? I'm still confused by that. Somebody help me out with it. Is it just FedEx Express? FedEx Ground. But anyway, we're going to look at a comparison between the two. I'm going to do a little bit more in-depth dive on it, give you guys a little bit more insight into what entails FedEx Ground. A little bit of history. I did work for them briefly before the COVID-19 incident happened, so I can give you a little bit of personal insight on it, but it was a very brief, like 2-3 weeks. Whew, sorry I made that weird face, guys. I had to sneeze, man. We got rain and allergies going on around here, and I'm not usually Mr. Allergic. So anyway, hopefully I'm not gonna sneeze again. I cut the video there real quick because I'm sure nobody wanted to see me sneeze. It's, there's better things in life than watching Not Timmy 66 sneeze as he drives down the road in the rain, right? Anyway, we're going to do I'll digress on that. We're going to do a little bit of an in-depth review of FedEx Ground and try to compare apples to apples between FedEx Ground and FedEx Express. All right, guys, we're back. Welcome back to Not Timmy 66. I know I already did the intro, but I did that like hours ago. So getting into it, we're going to do a little bit of a comparison. I had a comment from someone that worked for FedEx Ground and is now working for FedEx Express, and in their words they were like, it's 1,000,000 times better. It's 1,000,000 times better working for Express than it is for Ground. So it got me thinking a little bit, so I thought, I'm going to go ahead and look some things up. So excuse me if I'm looking down this way, it's because I'm looking at my monitor. I put some stats up, but I'm not Mr. Fancy Schmancy guy, so I can't just pop them up like, beside my head, which would probably be the way to go, but low tech, what am I going to say? So anyway, I guess I could start out by saying, yeah, I did work for FedEx Ground, and it was right before I worked for Amazon, and well, it was in between. I worked for Amazon for a while, then I went to work for FedEx Ground, then I went back to Amazon. Long story short, I worked for FedEx Express, but it was right at the start of FedEx Ground. Not. Let me start this over. Okay, now we're composed. Whew. I did work for FedEx Ground, but it was only a short amount of time. It was probably 3, maybe 4 weeks, and it was right coming up to the holiday time, and it was right when the pandemic started getting pretty bad, or when the coronavirus started getting really bad. And that was the reason why I quit working for them, because they shut the entire fleet down because somebody actually came up with the coronavirus. They shut everything down, cleaned all the vehicles and everything, and it took them way, way, way too long for me to be able to get back to work. So, long story short, I went back to Amazon, and that's where I stayed until this. So, anyway, my experience with FedEx Ground, and it was pretty good. I worked for some good people. Again, no real problem with the management. The hours sucked, and that's one thing that I don't really talk about too much, is the hours are going to be much better with FedEx Express. I believe it's Monday through Friday, so no matter really what time of day or evening I'm working, at least I know I've got my weekends off for my kids, my family, and things like that. With Ground, I keep wanting to say Express, I'm sorry. When I worked for FedEx Ground for the short period of time I did, it was weekends. I worked both Saturday and Sunday, and I had I think it was Monday and Tuesday off or something crazy like that. It didn't go over very well with my wife, let's put it that way. So I have some mild experience with it, and also I can say that the training was really good, and I can also say that there's some things that I noticed right away that I liked better about FedEx process as opposed to, say, Amazon, and that was that you had your own route. Yeah, you had to work your way up to get your own route, at least for the contractor I was working with. So you would take other people's routes when they called in sick or what have you. I never quite got to that point because the whole corona thing hit and they shut the fleet down and all that stuff happened right before I would have actually gone out on my own. So most of my experience was actually going out and training with someone that had already worked there. Small towns here in Texas. I can say with FedEx Ground, it was a lot bigger packages, a lot heavier packages. One time we had an urn of cow semen that we had to deliver. So it was out in the country on these ranches out in Texas, and there was a lot of windshield time. It took you a good hour and a half to get from the Fort Worth, Texas area where our distribution point was to actually where you delivered, and it took you about a good hour and a half to get back, depending on traffic. The pay was pretty decent. It was about 125 to 150 a week. And of course they did have overtime, but again, my experience is limited. So what I did was I pulled up some information again off Indeed. I trust the source. It's based upon company profiles and things along those lines. So what this is just a FedEx Express versus FedEx Ground comparison. And overall, the rating for FedEx Express is 3.9 and FedEx Ground is 3.4. So you could say they're close, but FedEx Express kind of edges them out. And it goes into it, and it says that they both transport and freight. They both are worth $10 billion or more. Number of employees is more than 10,000. And headquarters for Express, I believe, is in Memphis, Tennessee, and for Ground is in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. So there's a little background for you. Then when I get into the company ratings overall, the overall rating, like I said, is 3.9 for Express, and overall rating for Ground is 3.4. For the work-life balance, which I've spoke on in other videos, 3.7 for Express, 3.3 for Ground. And I think that goes a lot into probably scheduling and things like that. You know, work-life balance. Do you have your weekends off? Do you have at least one weekend day off that you can spend doing things with your family? You know, those are important things. So you get that work-life balance in there. Compensation and benefits. So for Ground, the compensation and benefits, and I think this is kind of telling. Ground is 3.3 rating, and compensation and benefits for Express is 4.0. So I think the pay is higher and the benefits are much, much better through Express than they are Ground. Job security and advancement on Ground is 3.2. On Express, job security and advancement is 3.7, so it's quite a bit higher. How people felt about the management, and this comes from people that work there. So how people felt about the management with Ground, 3.1. With the management with Express, 3.5. I don't seem, you're not always going to get huge ratings when you're asking employees about management. Wonder why. It's a mystery. And then the culture, just basically the people that you work with and the culture that you're in. With Ground, it's 3.2, and with the culture with Express, it's 3.7. Then it goes down, it's kind of like overall CEO approval ratings. The approval rating for the CEO of Express is 79%, and 70% for the CEO of Ground. Salary satisfaction, again, 49% people are satisfied with their salary that work for FedEx Ground, and 57% are pretty happy with their salary with Express. And then, basically it has a few reviews in here, and I preface this by saying, everybody's opinion, everybody's got an opinion, just like everybody has, what, and they all stink, blah, 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 right? But overall, when you go down through all the different reviews and you look at the two, the ratings are much higher for Express. You see things like hard work, but it's what you put into it on Express. You see hours are conveniently located to home and to the workplace. You see decent job, but there's certainly better jobs in the field. This person is comparing Express to UPS. Well, I've already gone into that. I don't think there's much of a comparison between the two. Like when you talk about United Parcel Service and United States Post Office, I don't think you're comparing apples to apples any longer. I think you're comparing apples to oranges, because again, the United States Postal Service is a government position, and UPS is a union position. Better benefits by far. Now, I have heard some people say that working for UPS, man, that's your whole life. You might as well like the people that you work with a lot when you work for UPS, because of the fact that you spend a lot of your time working. Work-life balance, man. And I think a lot of this comes down to, what do you want to get out of your job? Are you looking for part-time? Are you looking for full-time? Are you looking for something that's going to be a career? That's another thing on here. When you look at Express, the career path is much higher to move into management and things along those lines. You're not stuck like you would be with Ground. Now, with Ground, if you don't have any desire to move up any further and you just want to do your delivery job and go home every day, then that's the job for you. If you have ambition to want to move up in the company, Express might be a better bet for you. Then we get into the interview process, which I'm still in, by the way. Haven't heard anything back yet, by the way. That's my big update for today, guys. Wait, hold the press. Haven't heard anything back yet. Still in process. Guess that's a good thing. I did speak with one of the recruiters yesterday. She called me back. I called to see if I could get any information, any updates or things like that. And she called me back and she did say, if you haven't heard anything back from the background check people, then you're probably doing pretty good. If you hear a lot back from them right away, there might be some issues. You may have a hard time getting started because there's issues with your background. So, and she also explained to me that the way Federal Express does their background checks is they batch everybody together. I suppose it's more cost effective for them to do so. I'm not sure. She didn't say that. That's my assumption. So it takes a little bit longer time because they send them such a batch of background checks. And your area may differ. There's some people I know that are part of my community that comment regularly that have already started before me, and they applied before me. Man, bravo. I'm jealous, RDK. But I digress. I'll get there. So now I've lost my dang train of thought. Dang it. It's heck to get old, guys. So anyway, that's my not so in-depth review of the differences or the comparison between FedEx Ground and FedEx Express. I don't know. I guess, there's several things that play into my opinion on this. One of the things that plays into my opinion more than anything else is that if you have a company that has better benefits, better pay, more chance of upward mobility and advancement within the company, you're going to be happier working there. If you're working for a company that really is, you're locked into that position pretty much as long as you can do it, and you're going to keep doing the same thing for as long as you choose to work there, you're not going to be quite as happy. I think that FedEx Ground sees quite a bit more turnover rate. And with that turnover rate, I think becomes a little bit less job satisfaction because you see people come and go so quickly. And there's also a reason why you see people come and go so quickly with a company as opposed to another company or another arm of the same company that you see people staying for 30 years. I don't know. Call me crazy, but I just feel that FedEx Express is going to be the better bet for me. I know I've been waiting a long time to start there, but I do believe that the wait will definitely be worth it. And it'll definitely, I'll look back on this and be very, very glad that I did. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for today. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please continue to subscribe and watch my channel. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. But if you do, hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when I update new videos. I try to do videos at least once a week, if not more than that. Little housekeeping, like I said, I am now up to 33 subscribers, so we're getting there, guys, and I thank every single one of you. Again, I'm going to say thank you to the 33 people that want to take a little bit of time out of their day when they get a notification that Not Timmy 66 has posted another video, and they take a little bit of time out of their day to watch it. I'm honored. I really am. Thank you all very much. No matter what you do in life, make it count. And guys,